Gentlemen, you ready for the anchor of Team East Coast? Yeah. Give it up for Kenny DeForest!
All right. Okay. How's everybody? This has been fun, huh? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, this is nice. Thank you. Before I start, I'd like to. This is a Brooklyn Dodgers hat. This is not a Boston Red Sox hat. Which is really my first point. The West Coast's only decent baseball team is actually a Brooklyn team, so you're welcome for that. We were so good at baseball, we had an extra team. We were just like, here, you take the Dodgers and we'll keep the best team that's ever existed. And life will go on. There's some pretty good points there for the West Coast, I'll give you that. I do want to, legal weed, that comes up a lot. I live here in New York City. And as a smoker, I always say, is it not legal here? It feels legal. It doesn't feel illegal to me. I don't know. Granted, I'm a white guy, and that's a different set of rules. But when I need weed in New York City, I just text a guy I've never met. And a friendly hipster comes to my house on a bicycle. And it feels like seamless. It's legal, right? I think it's... app-based weed purchases. So I don't know if that's a great point, but you know. Also, subway versus car. I like the subway. I think the subway is important. I think it's important every day to see someone who's having a worse day than you are. It keeps things in perspective. You know, you get on the train, you're like, oh, my life sucks. And then 2 minutes later, you're like, actually, it's pretty great. I'm currently talking to myself in full dialogue, so I guess I'll just count my blessings. In LA, you know, in New York, at least the rich people here, they have to look at poor people. In LA, they just put gates up and they retreat back into their pools. And they don't ever look at poverty in the face. They just don't. In New York, at least the rich people here look at poverty and choose to do nothing about it. I think it's a lot more honest that way. I have a unique perspective on this because I come from the Midwest, like most people in Brooklyn. I come from the Midwest, and I've seen the type of people from the middle of the country that choose to go west and choose to go east. I think that's a big part for me of why I think the East Coast is better, because all the people I know that went east are driven people. They have a purpose. They went, I'm gonna go do something. And all my friends that went west were just like, I don't want to stop smoking pot. And that was like the primary reason for their, like, I'm just gonna take my guitar to the beach and live in a tent. And it's like, and the worst part is you can do that there. I don't think that's good. I don't think it's good to be somewhere where you can just live in a tent. That just, I have a friend who tried to be homeless in New York. That was his goal. He was like, I'm gonna move to New York and I'm just gonna bring the stuff on my back and I'm just gonna slum it up and he took a nap on Coney Island and he woke up with nothing. And that's how it should be. That's how it should be. Builds character. Floaters, that's who goes west. It's just floaters, lost people, just want, at least it's sunny, and it's like, yeah, but you're a problematic person, and you're just wandering west. Like, and also, the West Coast is so much younger than the East Coast. The East Coast is, we've found ourselves here. We already know who we are. We're progressive, but we're tethered to reality. You know, it was like if Bernie Sanders was from the West Coast, he'd like have a dashiki on. You know. He never would have made it that far. He's got that East Coast grounded. It's like free college, but still, let's relax. And Kate talked about the cults. That's true. There's so many cults. That's what happens. It's just lost, listless people, and they go out. Like the West Coast general vibe is like a college student who just started smoking weed and watching YouTube, and they just. Every conspiracy theory they watch is the truth, and they're just like, maybe aliens did it, and then it becomes a church, and then all your favorite actors join it, and you're like, boy, it's weird out there. The only cults that survive in New York City are sex cults, because we're fucking awesome, you know? If you want to start a cult in New York City, you better be getting a nut, or else you got to take that shit somewhere else. Chris Duffy was shitting on Florida. I think Florida is just honest California. Is really and Boston is just honest Portland. That's really all. Everyone's like, Boston's so racist. It's like, yeah, you know how you know that? They told you. In Portland, they're just like, how did it get so white? I'm not even sure the West Coast even wants to be here. Like, if it's so great, why does it keep trying to kill itself? West Coast keeps setting itself on fire like it's a Buddhist monk trying to make a point. And it's chill out. I think the West Coast, this is the reason why the Midwest doesn't trust the coast. It's not the East Coast, it's the West Coast. It's just, everybody goes out there and just gets this disconnected. It's this sort of liberalism where there's no self-awareness. Like, I think Frasier really sums up West Coast progressivism really well. Because it's just a bunch of like really proper, prim and proper liberal men who think they're, we're on the cutting edge, we're thinking so forward. And if you've never seen Frasier, it's just a show where a super liberal, progressive-minded Seattle psychologist calls his coworker and best friend Roz a slut for 11 seasons. Yeah. And that's pretty much what West Coast liberalism is. They're like, we're not the problem, while entirely being the problem. It doesn't help. The Pacific Ocean is radioactive. I don't know if I need to, at least I can, you know, I mean, I wouldn't go swimming here, but I could. There's no West Coast cuisine. That was mentioned, you know, New York, we got bagels, we got pizza. What is West Coast? It just eating speed and avocado? Is that all? Is that what a California diet is? It's a terrible place to live. It's always leaking and on fire. It's earthquakes. Clearly God wants them dead. And I think we should just let that happen. My final point. I got 2 points. The weather. It's too. You can't have it. It can't be summer every day. Again, you just continue to just disconnect from reality. I was just in Los Angeles, and I saw a friend of mine that moved out there, and she goes, "What day is it?" And I said, "Thursday." She goes, "No, the date." And I go, "Oh, it's April 15th." And she goes, "Oh, it's April." And I think that really sums up. You just go west and you just become a Scientologist in a tent that doesn't know what month it is. And shit gets beat out of you here, like it should. My final point is 2 words. Shake Shack. I was just out there. I ate In-N-Out Burger. It's trash. It is. It's trash. It's not good. Anytime the selling point is the sauce, it just means your meat's bad. That's all that means. Anytime you're like, oh, you gotta have the sauce, it sounds like you're trying to avoid. It'd be like if, you know, it sounds like a guy with herpes. Like, oh, the best part of sex is the condom. And it's like, no, you're hiding something. You're hiding something under that sauce. And I don't trust her one bit. I think that might be it. Oh yeah, okay. Also, New York, this was to piggyback Sydnee's point as well. about rap. Rap music, you know, the thing about New York that's awesome, and I think we've established that when we say East Coast, we're there. And this is what we mean. And New York makes you better. You come here and then you write a song that's about, like, I did it in New York. I overcame. Let's hear it for New York. You know, like, yeah, I did it. Can you believe it? Like, the city is the villain in any show or song about New York. It's the city that's the bad guy. It's bringing the best out of people. And it's like, I rose up through New York and I emerged better. In California, it's just like, we party. That's all it is. Any song is California knows how to party, and little else though. And I guess that's it for us. That's the East Coast.